We're good.
Hello, everybody. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Hi, everybody. This is take 3, so, who knows. Anyway, Mitzi Cruz here, host of Lincoln Live, and I appreciate you guys joining us for a bonus episode of Lincoln Live. Today, we are live with Louise and Ryan Milleman, and we're going to learn more about
thermography.
Yay! Super excited to learn more about this cutting-edge technology that looks at health, and actually, I will go ahead and let Louise explain more. But first of all, I just want to thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And so can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. My name is Louise. Hi. I'm a mother of 2 lovely children. And Ryan, who was in the Air Force back 7, 8 years ago?
I got out in November 2016.
And that's how we ended up in this area, because he was stationed at Beale.
And we just really liked it here. So we traveled for a little when I got out, and then found ourselves kind of gravitate back towards the area. So
yeah.
Now we're back.
But for myself, I've been into natural proactive healthcare for a long time. And this was kind of just furthering our career in that, being able to offer these health screenings to people.
So, and we're actually live here at the Lighthouse Wellness Center.
Right.
So tell us about the Lighthouse.
Lighthouse Wellness Center. This is an amazing place. They have so many things here to offer. Our Trisha Williams, who does a lot of chiropractic care, they have yoga, they have acupuncture, they have we have a naturopath that's starting in June, which is amazing. So catch her next month. She's going to be starting here. And they do nutritional counseling. There's some Reiki that you can get scheduled here. This place is all around, all about health and wellness, and it's beautiful.
Powerhouse for wellness. Yeah.
Powerhouse for wellness. I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say is probably the biggest components that makes up kind of looking at a holistic approach to health and wellness?
I would say it's listening to the patient and thinking of their whole body and their whole, not just their body, but their mind.
Oh, sure.
Their body, mind is so connected. And so when we look at someone, not just looking about what's going on physically, but, hey, how can we help you relax? Oh, I forgot to mention they have massage here as well. How can we help you relax? How can we help you send you home on a meditation for 15 minutes?
Right.
And maybe do that once a week or once a day if you need to, but just really focusing on somebody's mind and body all together and just realizing that they're connected.
Yeah, I think it's a whole body approach to not just looking at one specific thing, but let's dive deeper into the symptoms of this, or why, not the symptoms, but why it could be causing this, and then really try to do those lifestyle changes and everything to be able to get the whole package for health.
Right.
I love that, because what I heard you guys say is you're taking care of the person's mind, helping to really delve into maybe some of the things that are creating some of the health issues. So the body, the nutrition is huge,
right?
And just really being proactive with those things. And so that's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I always tell people too, it's like being proactive. I love that word instead of reactive. Let's not wait until something's wrong. Let's try to stay on top of health, because once something's wrong, things can go downhill fast.
Oh, sure.
So it's like staying on top of that and just being proactive with your health.
So talk to us about
thermography.
Thermography. I was going to mess it up, so I appreciate you. So what is thermography?
Okay, so thermography, we're a safe, very effective, painless. We don't do any squishing, squashing, or we actually don't touch you at all. We just take images with this state-of-the-art infrared camera. But we are a radiation-free health screening tool. So we are kind of looking at your body. This is the physical part of our health, but we're looking at your body, and we're looking at it with this idea or this knowledge that our bodies are symmetrical. Do I look at you or the camera?
Either both.
Okay.
A little bit of
Talk
both.
to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea that our bodies are symmetrical, right? So, what's over here is over here. And so with a slight degree of variation, because nobody's actually 100% perfect, but we look for the temperature changes. So we actually measure the temperature on your skin surface up to 5 centimeters deep.
Wow.
And so we can see a lot of things about what's going on. It's a physiological test, and so anything physiological that's occurring in our skin, we're able to pick up the heat. And so we look for heat patterns, we look for cold patterns. If there's hypothermia, maybe lack of heat, then we're able to pick that up too and know that there's not enough circulation, or there's some sort of issue that's going on there. And so
we can also see the vascular system and everything, so you can actually see, you'll see your carotid artery on the scan.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy, but you can see all your veins on the scan, and they look for look for something that's wrong with there or something abnormal.
Right.
Well, so offline we were talking, and you guys were mentioning that, you know, there's some markers that you're able to detect that may indicate that person's, like, you know, perhaps at a higher risk for stroke or cancer or, or, you know, a number of different things, hyperthyroidism or hyper and
Both?
Yeah.
hypo. Yes, both.
And things like that. And then you guys also mentioned that if somebody were doing like a detox, that you can kind of scan them before, after, and then determine whether or not that was effective, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a really great way to monitor those changes that you're making, especially when people are starting to want to. I mean, everybody's looking for natural ways these days and more natural things. And so, yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to monitor if those things that you're doing are actually working for your body, for sure.
So even for like the thyroid, even if you're not doing a holistic approach, if you're taking medicine and want to see if the medicine's working for your thyroid, you can still, this is a great way to monitor that progress because, like I said, it's no radiation. You're not doing anything harmful to your body, just to check. So it's something that you can do more repetitive than other tests that are out there today. So
Right.
So walk us through the scanning process.
Okay. And so if someone was to show up at the Lighthouse Wellness Center here to get a scan, we have 3 different options. So we have just breasts. So we have been approved since 1982 as an adjunctive screening for breast cancer. And so if you had just a breast screening, we would have you in front of the camera. We would take 6 full images of your breast. And then we also have upper bodies. So you would have your abdomen, your breast, your thyroid, your carotid artery, and you'll have all those images. Or you can get a full body scan, and that's to look at every single aspect of our body, legs, feet, arms, and then everything that's included in the upper body.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what would happen is you would actually come into this room. This is where we operate out of. We'll show you behind the scenes in a second where you can look at the camera, or what the camera shows. You have to acclimate for about 15 minutes because your body has to get the same temperature of the room, because it's all about temperature, it's all about heat.
Oh.
So we have some protocols people have to follow before coming in. There's no coffee the morning of. There's no caffeine, actually. Nothing too hot or too cold. Women can't wear a bra for 4 hours before they come. No makeup, no lotions, no essential oils, nothing that can change the composition of your body, basically. Sure. And then when you show up, you'll acclimate for 15 minutes, and the imaging process will take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, depending on which screening method of screening is chosen.
Sure.
So you're almost acclimating longer than the actual photos take.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, like today, we had a breast scan with the 6 images, so we acclimated for 15 minutes, and then the image were maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, not even, of actually taking the pictures.
So let's say somebody comes in and they take the images, and then you guys do see something that's asymmetrical. What would be their next step?
So the process with that is once they come in and they get a scan, then we get a report sent back to them, usually within 5 to 10 days. October runs a little slower because breast cancer awareness.
Sure.
So the scans actually get interpreted by a 3-tiered system of doctors. So it starts at 1. So there's 3 different doctors that are looking at that report, kind of getting more eyes on it and kind of collaborating. With the final being our main lead doctor is Dr. Sepper.
Meaning that we are not actually interpreting the scans.
Right.
We are just a technician, much like a radiologist or someone that would take the images, and we send it into our team of doctors. So our team of doctors who've studied this will be able to interpret the scans and then send back the results to us.
Got it. And then that person who was scanned would then maybe take those to their doctor or whatever protocol they decide to move forward with. They would at least have the information to do that and know.
Yeah, right now we have options to talk to a doctor if you want to do a phone call with them, and he can kind of break down the exam. We're also kind of building our network here. That's the beauty of working with the Lighthouse Wellness Center, because we're trying to set it up where they're getting the training to be able to bring your scan here and be able to read it here, and then you can be able to get that care that you need here or go referred out to. But all the scans itself, if they do find something or something that's concerned, they do recommend you go get clinically correlated. So they're going to want you to go just verify something, because all these tools, mammograms, ultrasounds, thermography, none of them are actually diagnostic.
Right.
Like when you're talking about breast cancer, the only way to diagnose is for a biopsy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So we can actually see things, and our interpreting doctors may see something and say, hey, this looks like an area of concern, and it could point them into the direction of leading that there's an issue, but they can't actually say, that's breast cancer. You have to have this clinically correlated, and that case, you would have to speak with the doctor.
Sure.
But the good thing about having a scan is you have exactly where the location of heat is being detected, and you can say this is where our spot is of concern.
Sure.
And so a lot of people like to do adjunctive testings. When we can combine tests, we get the best results. So there's not ever a test that's 100% effective. So a lot of people will combine. My favorite combination is thermography and ultrasound.
Sure.
So if a thermography comes up and we have a very specific area over here that we need concern, we can get an ultrasound and we can say, hey, let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
Thermography is physiological, where we can see the blood flow, we saw the heat, we saw the process of the angioneogenesis, which is the formation of a tumor.
Sure.
But when that tumor becomes more than just a tumor, it now becomes malignant,
sure,
being cancer, it starts to spread. We pick up at the very, very early signs of that, which is why thermography is very truly a preventative method.
Right.
By the time it's actually able to be picked up on a thermography scan, it's probably been in your body for, any from 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Active cancer cells can double every 90 days.
Oh.
And so, if you think about something being in your body for years and years and years before you can detect it, certain other screenings, will test them when you have more than 4 million cancer or cells that are in your body. Then that's a size where they can actually see it on an anatomical test.
Right.
Whereas thermography physiologically can pick it up a lot sooner. So when we think about truly being preventative, thermography is definitely one of those things that you want to catch things earlier, because the earlier you catch things, the faster that you can intervene with them and the better chance that you have of fighting it off.
Sure.
Whether you're doing it naturally or whether you're doing whatever method you're going to choose. But
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, what is the cost associated with these different scans? Or
yeah, you want to talk about the
You can do it.
Okay.
And I'll do the reveal.
So we have 3 different scans, like we mentioned. The breast scan is $299, and it comes with your 6 images of your breast. It comes with a full interpretation and a consultation with a doctor. So you can actually go over that scan with the doctor that can tell you exactly what you need to know with our interpreting doctors. Then we have a full upper body, which was the torso and the breast that we talked about, and the thyroid and the carotid artery. That's $399. Again, it comes with the consultation with speaking with an interpreting doctor and all of your images. Full bodies are $499, and same thing, all your images, consultations included in the price. So you've got $299, $399, and $499.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, and so the show's very interactive. We love to have the audience ask questions, make comments. Do we have any questions?
So Danielle Cutter has been watching, and she says we can use my before and after for a detox one. # hot mess.
She scanned a few weeks ago with us. Hi, Danielle.
Awesome.
And so with your scans, is there anything, like, if they do come up pretty normal, nothing to worry about, do you have suggestions in terms of keeping them normal, or any suggestions to prevent in case something could potentially come up?
Right, absolutely. Good question. So I say that even when a scan comes back completely normal, like we said, there's not ever a 100% perfect person. So
Sure.
Generally there's something to be found, but a baseline is always a really good idea.
Right.
Just like even with mammograms or any kind of screening tool, like you have to have a baseline to know what we're looking at. So we can see vascular patterns, and at some point we don't know if that's an irregular vascular pattern or if that's just your vascular, it's unique to your body. So
Sure.
It's a good idea to come back. We recommend having a baseline like after 6 months. After that, I would say coming in every year is probably a good idea just to keep going. But if it's normal, completely healthy, everything that's offered here pretty much. You've got chiropractic care, it's very proactive and preventative. You've got acupuncture, which can keep your energy flowing through your body, nothing stays stagnant in there. You've got a naturopath, but then on top of that, just like diet and just being healthy, as healthy as you can, utilizing things that are just going to help your body at a cellular level, such as your essential oils, things like that. But yeah, I think it all comes down to just eating right, exercising, and sleeping and resting and managing stress, and then being proactive and getting the things, not waiting. I always like to tell people, listen to your body when it whispers, so you don't have to hear it yell, or something like that. There's like a saying, and it's like, listen to your body when it whispers, so you don't have to hear it scream.
Right.
And so if we see a normal thermography scan, and it's like, hey, great job, keep doing what you're doing, keep coming and being healthy and doing all the things.
Yeah. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
For sure.
still a good idea to monitor because then you never know when something could change.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I love the fact that this is radiation free. So a lot of times when we're talking about things like cancer screenings, you're introducing radiation to the body to detect things like that. And I'm certainly not a doctor, so I don't mean to say either way, what's the right way, what's the wrong way. It's just my personal feeling about it is, introducing radiation into a body that may already have an issue is, it can be a little bit concerning,
Right.
So now you've got a tool that's not introducing radiation, that's able to look at the body's blood flow and really see what's going on that way. I mean, it just makes sense to me. It's just a no-brainer.
Right.
So
and real quick, just to touch on that for a second too, because when we are shooting, like you mentioned, radiation with certain screenings like mammograms, they're looking for physical tumors, right? But again, with a baseline, even with women with dense breasts, it's hard or without a baseline, or women with dense breasts, it's hard to see what's actually tumors and what's actually going on. With thermography, we don't have, because we pick up the physiological change. We pick up the blood flow that's coming to that tumor. So like the tumor, if it's being fed blood to it, it's growing, it's active.
Right.
If it's not being fed blood to it and it's not active, we're not going to pick it up.
Sure.
And so if something's actually growing in your body, that's kind of the angioneogenesis that I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's that process where it starts becoming malignant. That's when the tumor is getting to a size where it can no longer sustain itself alone. And so it kind of puts out these angiogenic factors to the body saying, hey, I need extra blood. Blood gives it nutrients so the tumor can grow.
Yeah.
We don't want tumors growing.
Yeah.
But the blood that comes to the spot to help it grow is what thermography picks up. And so we're able to
from that.
The heat, the blood is going to bring the heat, so thermography is going to pick things up. So there's not really as much of a question. Like if you find something, it's not like, well, was that just my tissue there, or was that just what was that? Is it actually a tumor? Like we know if there's something there, maybe it's not a cancer tumor, but we know that there's something going on because it's a physiological change that's taking place in your body that we wouldn't pick it up if there wasn't something going on there. So.
Yeah, I love that. I know in my family we have a lot of breast cancer. Unfortunately, I'm 36 years old. My cousin was born the same year. She has already gone through breast cancer. She's already, had a tumor removed and then gone through chemo as well. And so I think it's 5-6 years she's been cancer-free now. But I mean, can you imagine 30 years old and going through that?
Right.
So yeah.
And top of that, you don't get mammograms until after 40. They don't recommend them. So if she, at her age, it's like not something that she could, or at my age, at 33, it's not something that I could necessarily, I don't go get a mammogram right now,
No.
So this is something that, so we don't end up being on the same situation as your cousin. Like we are able to, at a young age, as early as your 20s really, to start kind of screening and picking up things that, so we can avoid being in that situation,
Right, right.
as much as possible. I mean, of course, there's still genetic factors that will make you more at risk, but catching it early is always going to be a really great thing.
Right. So I would love for you to show everybody the camera and kind of how that all works. And I'm going to step aside.
I'll step in here.
Are you going to get in the...
Oh, now I'm in front of the camera. I was trying not to be. Okay, let me move.
Yeah, this is just, we're not doing an actual scan or anything. This is just to show you kind of and this is the pretty colors. This is like the colors that everyone's used to. This is the heat. When we actually shoot, we do it in an inverse grayscale, which is kind of the black and white, but it still detects heat, but it's just with a black and white, you can see the vascular patterns. And then they use the vascular patterns and the color scales to kind of do a full test.
That's interesting. So, because I see like the blood flow to your, what do you call that? Your elbow pits?
Yep. Your crease.
Yes.
Here we can see
I always
this.
told him that. I don't know. It's not official. Tell him not a doctor.
So there's
There is zombie
the
Louise.
inverse grade. Here, turn to the side and you can see you can kind of see the dart. There's your...
I'm like backwards here.
What's funny, you can see when they're cold.
So like I can touch right here, heat transfer is very easy, very
Their
fast.
fingers are cold.
Oh, wow.
Fingers are cold, yeah.
So when you turn sideways and there's kind of like the dark spots, I know that this isn't official because you haven't done everything to prepare and acclimate. But so how can we see like these? Is that like past bruises or? No?
No.
It's just there.
This
kind
is
of-
like your mottling. Like, what would you call that, babe?
Yeah. Not sure what that is.
Like hormone patterns, even like you can see. So like in here, this is considered kind of like your.
It'll pick up, hormone toxicity or estrogen toxicity,
Really?
and you'll see that in the body as kind of those spots. So
Wow.
I'll go back to the pretty rainbow.
That is interesting. Well, I'll
So,
tell you what. Look at that.
So a lot of people will see scans and be like, "Whoa, like my face is like really red," you know.
Right.
But it's not necessarily that like it's your face is always going to be a little bit hotter.
Sure.
And so, but really, it's about the symmetry, like we talked about. So we want each side to be as similar as we possibly can get it. You know,
Right.
so you can see like both of the creases of my elbow are going to be a little bit hotter because, well, this is where it just gets hotter because
Yeah. Blood
it's
flow.
a blood flow, yeah, and it's what's this
So,
called?
yeah.
A joint. But then even you can see my arms, it's like even the other sides, it's like you want them to be as similar as possible. You see the colors kind of coming down that
Sure.
are very, very similar.
Yeah.
So now if we had something like this big red spot over here and then
Right.
everything else was like green over here, maybe it's area of concern.
Sure.
But again, since we're just technicians, I mean, we can see an image and we don't really know until the doctor actually goes over it
Right.
because there's so much more to thermography than just the image. I mean, they really have to read the exact temperature from this side to this side
Sure.
and then compare the difference to see if there's actually something going on.
Got it.
So
Wow.
we're really lucky to work with our team of doctors. Alexander Sepper's been doing thermographic readings. He's a OBGYN PhD for over 33 years.
Wow.
So he's got it. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I know you guys are watching and there's got to be questions. What kind of questions do you guys have for us?
So if a woman comes in and she's pregnant, do you see the baby, or is that different?
Ooh, great
Well,
question.
we haven't had an official scan with a pregnant lady, but one of our
Not acclimated.
Not acclimated, and one of our friends came over when we got the camera, and she's pregnant, and like I said, she wasn't acclimated, but we just wanted to see what we could see, and it was
Sure.
cool. And you could see like a heat signature. You could see that the right side of her belly was hotter. So, and she's like, that's where I've been feeling the baby. So you could see like kind of the heat signature from that. I mean, it was really cool.
We actually took a video of it. So we started here and then we like videoed the other side and it was really cool to see.
Oh, that's so special. Oh my
But
gosh.
when you are pregnant, like your hormones are really out of whack and there's all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
but if there's an issue or area of concern, and it's like kind of sad, but it's something that we've recently learned is that a lot of women actually do end up finding cancers when they're pregnant.
Right.
And so it is something that we can screen for, but it's not like your ideal time to screen for. It's like if something's happening and you're pregnant and you need a screening, come see us because we can definitely screen you.
Right.
But because of your hormone changes and all that, it's not going to be like, oh, it's just a fun like yearly checkup. I'm gonna, you'd want to wait till you're not pregnant if it's going to be like one of your annual things,
Well, and I think that's awesome because obviously it's safe, right? It's safe for the baby. So.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I mean, literally,
We've had our
there's.
kids dancing in front of the camera. They like it too.
Yeah.
And you know what their baselines are.
Yeah.
So you can watch. And
Right.
that's one of the scariest things as a parent is,
Yep.
knowing that things can happen. So,
Mhm.
Right.
yeah.
It's sad. Now you never know what's going on, but we can tell you.
So tell everybody your hours and how they would reach out and get a hold of you guys, and then we're going to talk about the raffle price.
Okay. We work. We have actually 3 different locations that we work out of. So the Lighthouse Wellness Center is where we do most on Wednesdays, from 8 until noon, and then 2 until 5. And then we also work out of a location in Auburn. So if anyone's closer to that area, I know most people are probably going to be Lincoln, but we do have. If there's anyone watching closer to that area, we work out of Auburn on Fridays, and then we're working out of the Yuba City Healing Arts. And we have just kind of by schedule on that point. So if anyone is interested, we can take appointments via the Lighthouse Center. Do you have the phone number on your thing?
Well, we can post it in the comments.
Yes,
too, so don't worry.
So we can
Okay.
call directly to the Lighthouse Center. You can call our cell phone or our Facebook page. We actually take appointments straight from there as well.
Perfect.
So
Cool. So why don't we talk a raffle?
Keep going.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're super appreciative for Mitzi coming out here to do this, and it's so exciting. It's so awesome what you do, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
But anyone who is watching and is interested in getting a scan, we wanted to raffle off 50% off of a full body scan.
Ooh.
So we're going to take the price of a full body scan, which is normally $499, and it's going to drop that down to $249. And I don't know who to look at. And
You're doing great.
Thanks. So $249 for a full body scan. And again, it's going to come with your full images. It's going to come with a consultation from our interpreting doctor, so you can actually speak with the doctor themselves who reviewed your screening, and it will come with fun 30 minutes in this room with us.
So you guys know how to be entered if you've ever watched the show. So you'll just share this video. You'll comment shared in the comments below this specific video by noon tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and get you tallied. And then afternoon tomorrow at some point before my next video, we'll go ahead and do the raffle. And then we'll announce the raffle winner. And we'll go ahead and get you in touch with Ryan and Louise. And then you can go ahead and claim your prize. So pretty easy peasy. Just share this video and let us know you shared it.
Thank you for sharing it too.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
And
thanks for...
And we do have one more question.
Yes.
Are insurances picking up on this yet?
We do have, if you have an FSA or an HSA, like a health savings account, those types of things, thermography is always covered, which is usually like a card, and then it gets reimbursed, basically. We do have some like Liberty Health Share programs that cover it as far as insurance goes, but no, not a typical mainstream insurance.
So that's interesting to me, because just real quick, little note, when I had my daughter 2.5 years ago at Sutter Roseville, they actually, after I had her and I was nursing and everything, they actually gave me like a rag with essential oils on it to go ahead and inhale, and it was, I mean, the good ones, the doTERRA and all that good stuff.
Nice.
And I thought it was interesting because now they're starting to kind of mix the two, you know, the Eastern medicine and the Western medicine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's only a matter of time before this type of service is covered, but you know, there's no plans or talks of that right at the moment.
Right,
Not
yeah.
at the moment.
It's one of those things that, you know, what I love about it is that, you know, we don't have the limitations that insurance actually puts. So when insurance start covering things, then they want to tell you when that you can use it and when you can't and how many times. Whereas thermography, we try to make it as affordable as possible to be able to get your annual screenings and not have to worry. And then if you find something that you want to monitor on your own, you're able to come back and not have to worry about, well, insurance only allowed me to do it once a year. You know, it's like, I want to go do it, and at a price that's affordable enough to say, I want to see, did my spot get smaller? Did it get bigger? Did it get worse? You know, like, so the good thing about not being covered by insurance is that we're not limited on what we can do, and everyone can just kind of do it when and if they want to.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will get more mainstream, because it is an amazing technology, cleared by the FDA since the 80s for breast cancer, thyroid, neuromuscular disorders,
Cerebrovascular screening.
Cerebrovascular screening. I mean, all of this from the FDA has approved this technology to be a legit health screening. So, but you don't hear about it as much because insurance isn't covering it. So
Right.
It's not something that people, the doctors don't push it because it's not covered usually. So it's like,
Sure.
they kind of work together, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
So,
Yeah. So any final questions and any final thoughts that you guys might have?
I don't think so. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
This was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for joining us for a bonus episode of Lincoln Live. And be sure to share this video and comment share it so you can be entered into the raffle.
Awesome.
And have a great day, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.